Hello everyone, it's Danny Fake Webb here to talk about the topic for the July, I believe, challenge, which is exercise. And I thought what better way to talk about exercise when I'm looking like I'm looking after just coming home from a 5-mile run this morning. So I know I'm not looking pretty, but I guess that's part of what I believe about exercise. It's not always pretty. So first and foremost, I think the biggest thing that I have learned in the course of the past few years of my life and what I believe about exercise is that it is the best recourse for depression. Depression is something that I had struggled with. I went through a difficult time in my life and really had struggled with it and never ever exercised. That just was not my thing for most of my adult life. And just through a resistance to other kinds of treatment and wanting to have a better life, I started running. That just became the form of exercise that I chose. And between working on my nutrition, so actually looking at the food, which I changed my mindset to be, it's really the fuel or the chemicals that I was putting into my body, as well as exercise and how that fueled and worked on the chemicals with my body, really working on a brain shift that has really made a significant impact for me. And so I think my biggest motivation for exercise, which I also believe is not always fun. I think that's people's biggest, who really struggle with exercise, is that it's work. I mean, exercise can be hard work. And so you have to have a why. That's one of the other things I really believe about exercise is you have to have a why. Why are you doing it? And it has to be a soul level why, not just because I should or because I think it would be a good thing to do for being healthy. That's not going to keep you motivated after you've done it for a while. Think about the folks who make these great New Year's resolutions on January 1st, and by February 1st, all those resolutions have fallen to the wayside because people don't have a deep enough why. So my question to you, what I would ask you to consider as you're looking at what you believe about exercise, or if you're wanting to add exercise to your life, is why? What is your reasoning for wanting to do that? And the final thing that I want to talk about that I believe about exercise is the mindset that you use in order to get yourself out there to do it. We can all have the best intentions of the world. If I'm going to do this thing 3 times a week, or I'm going to do this thing, 2 times a week. And the reality is when the moment actually comes, it can be really difficult to make it happen. So, for example, when I need to go out and say, like today, I'm going to go out and I'm going to run 5 miles. Or even when I started, it would be, I'm going to go run for 5 minutes. The thought of doing the whole thing, so having to get up and get dressed and get my watch and make sure I ate the right thing and get my shoes on and go out the door and plan the route and all of that together could be so overwhelming that unless I was just having a super duper energy moment, it was really hard to keep that up consistently. And so what I came up with a motto for myself, and I use it in areas of my life that's beyond just exercise, but it's just put your shoes on. So don't think about all that other stuff you have to do. Just literally, I will just put my shoes on, especially when I'm not feeling like doing it. And sometimes just by putting my shoes on, once the shoes are on, what's the next step? Well, get your house key. Okay, I'll go get my house key off the ring. The whole time thinking, I don't have to do this. I am at choice in everything I'm doing. I don't have to go run these 5 miles. I'm just going to go get my house key. And then I'm just going to walk out the door. And then I'm just going to walk a block to where I start. And then, let me just start jogging for a little bit. And this is literally the mind game that I play with myself of just what's the next itty bitty little step. And before I know it, I'm in the groove, I'm feeling better, and boom, I've run 5 miles. It doesn't mean it's that easy. I mean, sure, it's a difficult process, but I think the biggest thing I've learned with running is that it's much less physical than it is mental. And it is the mental approach that you have towards exercise which can make it or break it for you. And I think that there's a gargantuan metaphor to life there. Your life, can you make or break your life depending upon what your mindset is towards it. So, that is kind of, let me do a little summary about what I believe is, for me personally, believing that exercise is the biggest antidote to depression. You have to have a why to really be successful at your exercise, know why you're doing it. And then the third thing is just put your shoes on. So that's what I believe for today's I Believe challenge, and I hope you all have a great day. I hope you've enjoyed meeting my little pup Mufus here. I don't know if you got to see him at the beginning. Say hi, Mufus. Hope you all have a great weekend.